Welcome back to SnowRunner, guys, and today we're looking at a vehicle that I would have never expected to see, but I'm really glad it's a thing. Now, this is a second-gen 2012 Toyota Tundra that has been engine swapped with a Cummins turbo diesel and also has a solid front axle swap, as you can see underneath. Now, there are a few different versions of this truck. There's this one, which is the quote-unquote standard one. There's this one, which is more of a desert truck slash trophy style, as you can see by the bed cage, the giant fuel cell, the rear mounted radiator. You also have this one, which is a 6x6 with an extended frame. And then finally, you have this one, which is a ute style build. I love these ute style flatbeds, by the way. I think they're so freaking cool. But what we're going to do is we're going to begin with the standard version, and then we will probably drive the race version after that on the racetrack that is right on the other side of the road from the garage, with some more driving of the 6x6 version potentially coming a little bit later on in another video. But another thing about this truck is that it is one of Frog's Patreon builds, and if you would like to find out more info about that, you can check that out on Frog's Discord, which will be linked in the description box down below. But without any further ado, let's fire it up, take it into the garage, and see what it's all about. I love the fact that you can run it with the hood off. I absolutely love the fact that you can run it with the hood off. It's like the coolest freaking thing. All right, so now that we've got it here in the garage, we've already got the performance engine tune on it, which is good. We've got the highway gearbox, which is good. And then, well, actually, I might actually swap that out for the off-road box for this one. Now, suspension-wise, on the standard one, you have stock, 2-inch lift, 3-inch lift, no damage on stock height, and then a skyjacker lift, which is essentially just a gigantic lift. Now, I think what I'm going to run on this one is going to be the 3-inch lift, and then tires-wise, you're going to start off with 35s, and you can go all the way up to a set, once you get to the bottom anyway, of 44s. Now, the 44s, here are your options. You have stickies, Milestar Patagonias, you have KM3s, you have Cup Boggers, you have M9060s, you have Treps, you have Boggers, Rockzillas, Pit Bulls, Super Swampers, BFG KO2 ATs. These are an older BFG MT. Then you have the MPT 81 by Dubs, you have the Ridge Grappler, you have the Fuel Grippers, you have the Trail Grapplers, you have like freaking Open Country AT2s, you have old Nittos, you have like Deegan 38s. These are actually really interesting because you don't see this tire on barely anything in SnowRunner. Then you have these really old school tires. Then you have more Patagonias, and you have another set of really skinny MPT 81s. Now, what I think I'm going to run on this particular build is I'll probably run a 41 because I feel like it kind of suits the size of the truck just a little bit better. And I'll run the 41s with a Milestar Patagonia. And then I think what we'll do from there is I definitely want to take the... Oh, is that like... Oh, dude, I love the rack up top. That's awesome. Now, fenders-wise, we have kind of like, you could do black fenders or you can do color-matched fenders. I think I'm going to run the color-matched fenders on this one. And then side steps-wise, we'll run these because they kind of double as a sort of rock slider. Now, you have a brush guard add-on, but also you have some custom front bumpers. This one's a little bit more of kind of like a brush guard style. This one's more of a, you know, winch bumper, kind of overland style. Then you have a light pod add-on, you have a stock bumper, and you have a tube bumper. I'm going to run the tube bumper for maximum clearance, and then in the back, you also have the option of a custom bumper, a stock bumper, and a tube bumper. I'm once again going for the tube bumper in the back. Hood-wise, you have the standard hood, the custom hood, or the ability to run hoodless, which I really like running hoodless, but at the same time, now that you guys have seen what's under the hood, I'll probably run the custom hood with the scoop. Grill-wise, you have a custom grill, a stock grill that's blacked out, or a chrome grill. I think on this one, I'm going to run the custom grill. Now, on the headlights, you have stocks and you have customs. I actually really like the custom headlights, so those are definitely going in there. And the tailgate, you can actually remove if you want. You don't have to have it on there. You can take it off if you would like. I'm going to leave it on there because I think it looks good, but at the same time, you could take it off and it would still be a really good looking truck. Now, bed add-on wise, this is where it gets interesting. You have the Armadillo chase rack. You have a bed cap, which I think looks really cool. You have a Night Customs bed rack. You have a KC rack with the canoe, which kind of doesn't really play nicely with the roof rack that we have on there right now, but if you want to run it, you totally can. You have the option of bed stuff, which is definitely going in there. You have a cap rack, which the cap rack is essentially designed to sit on top of the bed cap, which actually I might run that now that I think about it, because I like the one that's on the roof, but at the same time, I like the cap rack a lot. I think, you know what? Yeah, we're gonna do the bed cap and the cap rack, because that's just completely different from what you would normally see. Now, wheels-wise, you have a pretty big selection of wheels here, but I think I'm definitely going to go with some that are a little bit more geared towards off-road use, like, for example, maybe these KMC L1s, which I like a lot, or you could run a set of, I like these IR beadlocks, but I also like the Fuel Zephyrs. The Fuel Zephyrs look great on here. So do the Methods, so do, like, all these other off-road wheels. Those look like an AEV-style wheel. I think I'm going to run these Fuel Zephyrs. I think they look really, really good. And then when it comes to color options, I mean, literally the sky is the limit in terms of colors, and they all look awesome. They're all super bright. They're all super, like, essentially like high contrast almost, but I really like this kind of like slightly darker red. I think it really suits the attitude of the truck really well. And then of course we can throw beans on the dash, and now it's time to set off on a little mini adventure. And by the way, that looks awesome. I love how the second gen Tundras look. I love how the third gens look, like my real third gen, but I'm also like, I've always liked the second gens as well. I feel like the second gens are a really, really good option for building, like, you know, a full-on, like, race truck, or if you want to do, like, you know, a trail truck, an overland rig, the second gens are a really good option for that. And this 3-inch lift, I mean, it might not be the most flexy thing in the world, but it's still got some proper flex to it. Let's see how it jumps if we send it at that platform. All right, let's go. Come on. Not bad. Dude, not bad at all. It's definitely got a good range of travel on the suspension for sure. Now, let's take it down at one of these nearby trails and see how it does when we get it into some proper rocks. So I think the first one we're going to go down is going to be down here. So let's see if I can get... Wow. All right, bro. You gonna go the direction I'm trying to get you to go? Let's go. All right, so let's make our way down through here. Woo, easy. I know I might be going a little fast right now for like a trail run, but I'm just trying to get to the rocks because we also want to be able to drive the race truck version on the track. Now, this is actually going to give us a little bit of flex here. Let's see. Well, now we're in four-wheel drive, but I know that once again on this suspension option, it's not like, you know, crazy insanely flexible, but that's kind of one of the things that I like about it because it makes you think a little bit more about the lines that you take. And I personally, I know that it's always like a back and forth on trucks with bed caps, but I personally really like the way they look, especially on the second gen Tundras. Now, getting the opportunity to drive a solid front axle Tundra as opposed to the IFS one that I've been driving a lot in this game, it's always a really interesting comparison. But I think if you're somebody that's really into trail riding and crawling and stuff like that, you're really gonna love this one. But I'm sure that it does great on the racetrack too, and I can't wait to experience that element of this truck once I get the other one out. So let's ease this thing around. Oh, come on, there you go. Just fitting it on through, not bad. Not bad. There she goes. Let's see, can you make it up over that one? Trying to find a spot to where, there it is. Once I can fit through, it's got all the torque for sure. I mean, it really does not play around when it comes to that torque number. Let's see if I can just get it through here into standard low range. Messing with it, and there we go. Or I should say, after a couple of very awkward camera scenarios, there we go. Now let's ease her on down these rocks. No worries there. Got a little bit of a ding in the door, but again, no big deal. Not bad. Not bad. All right, so I will say that coming up around this next turn, we should get a few more rock obstacles to tackle. I love the way this thing looks. I don't know what it is about the second gens, but like, once they're properly built, God, they look so freaking good. I know that, like, it's kind of one of those things where a lot of people, they either really like the second gens or they really don't like the second gens. And I'm in kind of the camp where I can appreciate all the generations of the Tundras. The third gen is probably my favorite in terms of looks, but I really like how raw the second gen is. It's literally like you can either use it as a day-to-day, like daily truck, or you can go full out and build one. And it's like, there's really no in-between for the second gens, I feel. Oh boy, that was sketchy. Dude, holy crap, we baconed that fender pretty bad. Just ease you on up the trail. There we go. Not bad. This thing is actually, like, genuinely doing really well, and I love how, like, it's not necessarily a full-out crawler. Like, it's more of an overland rig, at least in this particular configuration. Now, I will go ahead and repair that body damage because I feel like it looks a whole heck of a lot better without that bacon fender. But at this point, I do want to go ahead and switch over to the race truck version. So let's take this one into the garage, give it a quick build, and then we'll run this one down to the racetrack and see how it does over there, because this thing looks like it's actually going to be really fun to drive on a proper racetrack. So now that we're in the garage, performance engine setup, highway transmission for sure on this one. You only get one suspension setup. And how big can it go on tires? 38s. And I believe you have two different offsets of 38s. So that's going to be your wide offset, and then, let's see, that's going to be the same, and then these are going to be your narrow offset 38s. Okay, so let's go with the wide offset Deegan 38s on this one. And I think, do we want the rack? I'm not really too worried about the rack on this one. And then we'll do probably like, we'll do the black fenders on this one. And side steps, and we'll do this one I definitely think we should probably also do the high clearance front bumper, and custom hood for sure, and we'll do the stock grill but blacked out. Oh, no, that was uninstalling the grill. Oops. Custom headlights on this one, and then we'll do a nice set of, let's see, yeah, Method race wheels on this one. The Method race wheels are going to look sick. Now, we could run it in a lime green, or we could run it in maybe like kind of like a gray or a blue. I like the blue, actually. The blue looks really, really good. And I'm sure there's going to be some people down in the comments that are going to be like, why is it squatted? And it's not actually squatted. The suspension is just set to sit this way because it helps it be a little bit more settled when it's landing jumps and things like that on a higher paced racetrack. So speaking of higher paced racetracks, let's make our way to one of those right now. Oh, I'm so excited to get this thing out on the track. I bet you it's going to be so smooth. Dude, I can already tell you, it drives real smooth. I wonder if it drives better in high mode or low mode on the suspension, though. Oh, this one's got a freaking 8-speed in it with the highway box. It's going to fly once we get it out on the track. Oh, it's quick and high, too. It's definitely, like, really smooth, though. It's really smooth. It's really progressive. And look at the way it soaked up those jumps. I mean, it's soaked, or not even jumps, just bumps. But still, I mean, we're about to see how it soaks up jumps. But in terms of bumps, I mean, it soaks them up really, really nicely. And I know that it's not all that high, but it's got some nice travel to it. All right, let's ease it on through here. All right, racetrack time for this thing. Let's see how she does. Stop. Oh, my God, stop. I was like, bruh, what are you doing? You're really close to that. All right, so let's make sure we start this out with a clean truck. And handbrake off in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Current best time, 1:55. I don't know if we're going to be beating that or not, but we will see. Ooh, overdid that just a tiny bit, but it's all right. Let's stay in it. Very nice slide there down the first hill. Trying to take a pretty good line through here. It's keeping itself in 8th, which is nice, but ooh, kind of landed in a weird pocket on the side of the track. Gonna have to work to regain a little bit of that speed. I'm trying to stay towards the middle of the track because I'll be a lot better off if that happens, but all right, up the hill, we definitely need to be in high because if we're not, it will shift itself back down again. Ooh, you just got to make sure I tap the brakes a little bit before the crest of that one hill because I didn't want it to go flying off into the side. Look at the way that suspension is working, though. Oh, dude, it's not bottoming out at all. I love it. It's a little bit stiff in the high mode, but I feel like that's okay. Like, that's exactly what you want. All right. A little bit on the brakes there, but I probably should have just, like, turned in and stayed committed to the throttle, because if you do that, it drives a lot better, but, yeah, I didn't do that, so my main tip that I can give you as far as driving this thing on the racetrack is stay committed to the throttle. If you don't, it will understeer, and that's not the fault of the truck, that's just kind of how the physics of this game work, but let's see. Ooh, cleared that second little bump. That one's always the big bottom out, but this thing had no problem with it at all. Absolutely no problem with it. Didn't bottom out in the front, didn't bottom out in the rear. The suspension is super well tuned. Now, I don't know if we're going to be beating that lap time or not, but if we do, hey, I'm going to be super pumped if we do. Oh, no. No, 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 no. Oh, we might definitely not beat it now, because we messed it up just a little bit. Oh, my God, you got to be freaking kidding me. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Okay, there we go. Back up to speed. Stop getting right within a couple of inches of rolling over. That's like literally the biggest thing we want to avoid right now. Come on, 7th, 7th, 7th. Shift up to 8th, bro. Come on. There's 8th. I'll give her a send. Ooh, it's almost there. Almost there, almost there, almost there. And up and over the last big one. Landed right at the start-finish line, into high, and across the line in 212. Hey, it wasn't exactly, you know, it didn't beat the 155, but I gotta tell you, it wasn't bad whatsoever. And in terms of fun factor, this thing is absolutely right up there with the best of them. Now, if you guys enjoyed this video and enjoyed checking out this truck, make sure to let me know your thoughts and opinions on it in the comments down below. Hit that like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I will see y'all next time. Talk to y'all later.